Well, it was October 19th of 1979. I was a 15-year-old sophomore here at Marquette High School. And it was on that day I woke up with a little discomfort in my back. And to make a long story short, I ended up a T6 paraplegic. I had a spinal aneurysm erupt on my spinal cord. And ironically, it was the day before a basketball tryout sophomore year. And I actually loved to play the game. And that was an event that really obviously turned my life around in terms of turning it upside down relative to going from walking to being in a wheelchair. I had given my life to Christ, however, when I was a 13-year-old boy. And I think that really did help me as I transitioned from being a walking person to someone that was using a wheelchair. And that was the beginning of me understanding the importance of relying on God to help me with everything that I have to do in life, from completing high school to completing college to completing graduate school to coaching to working to all the things that I do. And it was through relying on Christ and what he meant to me that he had my best interest at heart, even in the midst of all of this, and that he had some good to work out even in the midst of all of this, and that the story wasn't finished, it was just beginning, and that it still isn't finished, and that through him and through his strength, my weaknesses became nullified, and his strengths became stronger and stronger, which allowed for me to continue to do the things that I had set out to do as a young man and continue to pursue now. I think one of the interesting things for me is when I left Wisconsin to go get my master's degree and went to Duke University, I didn't know Coach K, I didn't know the staff, didn't know anyone, but I just felt a real desire to get involved to a greater degree in coaching. And God gives us gifts to use, and sometimes we don't know that they're gifts until we begin to work them, and we see that he really has gifted us to do certain things. And coaching is one of those things for me. And that allowed for doors to open in that arena that I never thought would have happened. Then to go from there and to do some things on the East Coast at a high level in the financial markets and still coach and keep my finger in athletics. I really have, when God says he'll give you the desires of your heart, my desires have really been fulfilled as relates to those areas. There are others who will say, man, why aren't you out in the stock market or doing other things? Because this is where I'm supposed to be. And I love being in the classroom, and I love interacting with the students and engaging them. And also it gives me a chance to share my faith with them in a different arena. That there's lots of ways to do this, and sometimes it doesn't include a Bible and a podium. It's just what you do and how you do what you do in front of people. Coaching at my alma mater, I would have never thought this 12 years ago when I moved back to Wisconsin. When I left Wisconsin, I thought I was done with Wisconsin. But God has a way of getting you where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. And it's fulfilling. It's a dream come true to have a premier coaching job in the state of Wisconsin, and to have the success that we've had. We've had our challenges and struggles here as well. But overall, it's been a good ride, and to continue to do these things, as long as the Lord allows me to do it, I'm going to keep doing it. I got married 3.5 years ago, which is always something I had desired and wanted to do. But I had moved around so much, and I knew it wasn't at that time in God's timing, but his timing then became right. And I had that fulfilled as well. So that is not to say that there have been things in life that have been challenges for me, and things that didn't necessarily go the way I planned. This non-walking thing is not what I planned. This is not the way I thought it would go. It has its challenges daily, but that means it has victory daily. And you're able to accomplish so many things. You look back, while you're in the midst of it, you may not know all that you're accomplishing, but when you stop and look back and you realize how far God has brought you and all the things he's brought you through, you just become so appreciative to him for what he is to you and what he's done through you.